Hey, what's going on, everybody? Bruce here. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hey, I want to thank Northside Aquatics for donating the sponge filter that I'm using in this demonstration because it's a good example of a good quality sponge filter. That's Northside Aquatics, Elkhart, Indiana. If you happen to live in that area, great place to go and support a local hometown fish store. That being said, I'm taking a little different look at the sponge filter. I'm going to talk real briefly about how it works, but I'm going to show you something interesting and tell you why I found it interesting and hope it helps you out. So let's get started. All right, guys, I like to keep these short and sweet. Don't want to bore you, so we're going to take a quick look at the pieces here, and then I'll show you what I found interesting. First, in the sponge filter, we have the sponge. Then we have the base, and these are typically weighted to hold the sponge down in place. You're going to have one or two of these cages, as I call them, that go in through the inside of the sponge. And the air line attaches to the top of that, travels down through the bottom, goes into that base where it becomes air bubbles, comes out, and then it travels up this tube, and that air coming out the top of that tube is what draws water in through the sponge, and that's how you get your water flow. Now, in particular, what I want to look at is this base. And the reason I want to look at this is because I have seen a lot of videos lately, videos talking about modifying these sponge filters with to add air stones to them, to break up the bubbles, to get smaller bubbles, to have less noise from your sponge filter. And I found it interesting that I didn't have this noise, and I took some apart to find out why. Now, what you have to understand is that air travels down through the inside of this, through this hole right here, and then goes down and it comes out, or goes down into this little hole right here, and then comes out these little spokes all the way around the outside of this this base. Okay, and that's the important part. All around there. Goes in there, comes out all around the outside of there. Now, you may say, what's the big deal? But here's the big deal. Using my fantastic artistic skills, you can see this design. There is a hole in the center, and then the air blows out, and look at the large size of these spokes where the air can come out. Okay, and what I noticed on some is that you have the hole in the center where the air goes down into the base, but then around the outside edge are only very tiny holes. Okay, and again, I found these on several of mine. Some that I had noticed had the bubbles had slowed down over time, and I didn't know exactly why that was. But what was happening is these get I guess calcified or corroded, and then instead of having a lot of airflow, you just have a few places where air is coming out, and it's giving you those great big bubbles that go glug 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 glug. And obviously we don't want that. We want large spaces where these air can come out of all of those. And then we have lots of smaller bubbles instead of large, noisy bubbles. So again, if you're going to buy one of these, ask them if you could open the box, take a look at this base, and make sure you see large openings like you see here. Again, is this the holy grail of fish news today? I doubt it, but you know what? The filters that I have that use this design, these Sephora, for example, they are running great and have for a long time. They're not noisy. The bubble flow is small and quiet, and that's what people seem to want.